Do you know the single most powerful word you can use in any human interaction? A word that instantly signals authority, clarifies intent, and draws others toward your stable center. It is not a word of command, nor is it a word of supplication. It is a word that merely states an undeniable fact about your inner world. If mastered, this simple declaration can transform how you are perceived by others, not through manipulation, but through an unshakable respect for your own internal agency. We are not speaking of fleeting emotional tricks or superficial psychological games. We are speaking of the gravitational pull exerted by a man who knows his own mind. Stick with this reflection, because by the end, you will understand how to use this principle to build not just better relationships, but an inner Parsus fortress no external opinion can breach. First, let us be surgically clear. This discussion is about the disciplined governance of the self, a path the ancient Stoics walked toward eudaimonia, or flourishing. It is an educational exploration of philosophy and virtue meant to help you reflect on your own choices. It is not advice for your medical, legal, or specific life decisions, for which you must consult qualified professionals. The power we seek is not over others, but over the singular sacred resource that is your own will. The most common error a man makes today is outsourcing his own will. He navigates life like a ship without a rudder, always trimmed to the prevailing winds of others' desires. When speaking to a person he respects or admires, he uses the language of hesitation, contingency, and permission. If you're free, maybe we could. Whatever you want is fine with me. This manner of speech, while superficially polite, broadcasts an inner chaos. It signals to the world that you are a secondary actor in your own drama, a man who has not yet decided what he genuinely wants. The Stoics taught us that the only thing wholly within our power, our prohairesis, or faculty of choice, is our judgment and our will. Everything else, external events, the weather, the body, and especially the opinions and actions of other people, is outside our direct control. When we seek to define ourselves by what others think or allow their uncertain wishes to dictate our course, we abandon our only true power. We become slaves to the external. This leads us to the two magic words. The simplest articulation of an internal state, I want. These are not words of arrogant demand. They are words of clarity. They are a concise statement that you have consulted your own inner counsel, weighed the options according to your best judgment, and arrived at a chosen path. When you look at another person and say, I want to take you to dinner on Friday, you're not asking for permission. You're expressing a decision you have already made for yourself. The action itself is still contingent on her free will, which you acknowledge is outside your control. But the desire and the initiative are firmly rooted in your own command center. This shift from asking for permission to declaring intent is the gravitational core of self-possession. The man who hedges, who uses 5 qualifying clauses before making a simple suggestion, often believes he is being humble or accommodating. In reality, he is merely exposing the untrained state of his will. He fears the minor pain of rejection, which is merely an external event, more than he values the clarity of his own judgment. The universe, which is indifferent to your internal fear, only registers the lack of direction. People are not attracted to weakness. They are drawn to stable, predictable strength. Consider a man I knew. Let us call him Marcus, though his real name is immaterial. Marcus was brilliant, kind, and deeply ambitious, yet he was perpetually stuck in the shallows of his own life. This was his preventable downfall. His hesitation was palpable. Every career move, every potential relationship was approached with a rhetorical shrug. He would propose a project to his superiors by saying, "We could pursue option A or option B, or really whatever the team feels is best." When dealing with a woman he admired, he'd say, "I'm not sure what you like, but if you happen to be free, maybe we could, I don't know, grab something casual." He believed this self-effacement was tact. The tragic flaw was this: his superiors assumed he lacked conviction, promoting men with lesser skill but greater decisiveness. His love interests assumed he lacked direction, turning instead to men who presented a clear, albeit sometimes simpler, plan. Marcus was a powerful engine, idling in neutral. He failed not from a lack of virtue, but from a failure to give his will a clear trajectory. His downfall was his silence. He refused to declare, "I want," and so the world did not know how to follow him. The Stoic principle that addresses Marcus's error is the dichotomy of control. By stating what you want, you are merely defining the internal, controllable half of the equation, your decision. When you then accept the external response, whatever it may be, a yes, a no, a counteroffer, you are practicing the other half of the dichotomy, tranquil acceptance of the necessary outcome. You have done your part. You have clarified your will. Now, let us turn to the matter of nuance, where the modern oversimplification of confidence often falls short. The phrase, "I want," is only powerful when it is rooted in virtue, not vanity. If spoken with the swagger of arrogance, the tone of a man giving an order rather than stating a decision, it is rightly repulsive. Arrogance is a mask for deep-seated insecurity, the desperate attempt of an untrained will to control the external world. A true Stoic delivers his will with a calm, confident intent. He knows that his job is merely to state his intention clearly and align that intention with wisdom and justice. The outcome is the concern of the gods. A man who practices this philosophy understands that he is constantly under construction, like a magnificent piece of architecture. His habits are the scaffolding, and his declarations, "I want this, I will do that," are the blueprints. The simple act of saying, "I want," becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, training the internal self to be decisive. You start by using it for small things. "I want the salad with the lemon dressing," or "I want to finish this task before checking email." You are fortifying your will in the minor skirmishes so it is ready for the major battles. I recall my own delayed awakening, an incident that taught me the painful difference between being passive and being adaptable. Early in my career, I was given a crucial, complex project that required coordination across multiple departments. My initial approach was purely deferential. I would ask my colleagues, "What do you think we should do?" And "Are you sure this is okay with your schedule?" I was outsourcing the anxiety of leadership. The project drifted, consensus dissolved into chaos, and the deadline was missed. I blamed my colleagues for their lack of organization, but my mentor, a wise older woman, brought me before a mirror and said, "You complain of their chaos, but you provided no gravity. You cannot guide a ship in a storm." by asking the sailors which port they feel like sailing to. Your job was not to be the most agreeable man in the room, it was to be the most clear. The hard lesson was this: true respect is earned not by agreeing with everyone, but by demonstrating that you respect the finite resource of time and the necessary virtue of clarity. I learned that you must first say, I want to move this project forward on this specific path because it aligns with our goal of X, before you can genuinely and respectfully hear a counter-argument. The transformation, when it finally arrives, is not a sudden magic trick, but a credible and disciplined change of habit. Think of training. In the forge, a student, let us call him Elias, felt utterly paralyzed in his professional life. He saw himself as a victim of circumstance, always responding to the crises of others. His transformation began when he started to consciously use the I want declaration to reclaim his boundaries. Instead of passively accepting a late-night work request, yes, of course, whatever you need, he started to respond, I want to deliver excellent work, and to do that, I will dedicate my first hours tomorrow morning to this task. He shifted the conversation from one of subservience to one of principled execution. He established the clear expectation that his time, a precious and finite resource, was already governed by his own will. This was not rude. It was merely a statement of an existing internal contract. People did not resent him. They started to respect his self-discipline. They knew where they stood. This is the great corrective nuance. The I want is not a full stop. It is an opening statement. When you say, I want to go to the theater on Saturday, you invite a response. If the response is, I have plans that night, your Stoic reply is not one of anger or disappointment, but of adaptability. You simply say, understood. Then, I want us to find another time. How is Sunday? The assertive man, the self-governed man, maintains his clarity of purpose while remaining utterly flexible in the execution of the external. He is a malfortress whose internal command center is secure even as the landscape outside shifts. He is pursuing his goal, spending time with her, accomplishing the task, and is simply redirecting his preferred means toward that end. The highest application of this clarity is not in casual dating or career advancement, but in the definition of your character. The ultimate Stoic declaration is not about external things at all, but about your internal code. I want to respond to this injustice with fairness. I want to choose virtue over comfort. I want to see this obstacle as an opportunity for training. This is where the power truly resides, the mastery of the only two things that truly matter, the quality of your will and the tranquility of your mind. And so we return to our initial promise, the gravitational pull exerted by a man who knows his own mind. The words, I want, are not a magic spell, but a constant exercise in self-authorship. They are the simple, powerful act of claiming your agency. They close the loop we opened at the beginning by demonstrating that true external influence flows naturally from internal discipline. The respect you seek from the world is merely the reflection of the respect you show your own sovereign will. The work, of course, does not end here. If the declaration of your will is the first step in self-mastery, the next must be the careful, principled planning of your finite time on this earth. The Stoics had a practice for this, a fierce reckoning with the limits of existence that we call meditatio mori. the contemplation of mortality. It is the necessary discipline that makes every single "I want" matter. That, perhaps, is where our reflection must turn next, to the careful architecture of a life lived as if it were both a gift and a debt.